Three unqualified morons with microphones. This is the previously recorded podcast. All right, welcome to Previously Recorded. I am your host, RP, as always, and this episode of Previously Recorded is brought to you by Totally Tease. If you need a shirt and you don't have one,
call Totally Tease.
They'll get it
done. They're back, as you can hear. This is the first episode in over 2 months where it's not just me and no other party people, recordiacs, whatever. Bob, welcome back to the podcast, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'd be better if you didn't keep pushing recordiacs. It's not happening.
Recordiac / party people.
Party people I can live with. What is that? What's the Disney Plus movie the party people's from? What's it called?
Fuzz Bucket.
Fuzz Bucket.
And then also joining us today is former guest who's been on plenty of times, Marvel, welcome back to the podcast, man.
No, you're welcome for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for to continue our Halloween talk. Halloween Town.
Yeah, Halloween Town.
This is a secret Halloween Town episode.
Yep. Last we left off, Marnie just
You thought this was going to be something current, but turns out we're just going right back to Halloween Town.
We're back.
If you think about it, we never left.
Yeah, we're actually changing the podcast name and theme to we're strictly a Halloween Town podcast.
I think
we're going to put out 4 episodes. We're going to put out 4 episodes a week now that we're a Halloween Town podcast.
Just go minute by minute.
Yeah, there's so much content.
there's a ton of content in the Halloween Town verse that we'll be bringing it back to. We have to finish the saga this October.
Do we only do the first 2, right?
Yeah, only the first 2.
Couldn't handle more than that.
Yeah, somebody watched. I don't know who. I think Bob only watched 3. I think you watched 3 and 4. I tried
them
to
all.
watch 3.
I don't think I watched all 3.
I think Shane and I watched 3.
Yeah. I thought we had settled on we were doing 2, and 2 was all I could take in one sitting.
You know what I got genuinely giddy for last night? Like genuinely giddy. Our Hallmark episode that we're going to do this year.
Well, that's an exception to our new Halloween Town podcast.
Yes,
we're going to turn this content-wise into the Barstool Sports of Halloween Town. Multiple podcasts.
I think it
multiple different platforms. Possibly a betting app.
We're going to go visual. We're going to have videos, costumes required.
We're going to go to Halloween stores and raid them.
The spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, we're just going to burn Spirit of Halloween's down to the ground to see if they respawn at other failed stores.
Yeah, this Spirit of Halloween Town only had 2 Spider-Man outfits instead of 3. Therefore, it's a 4.5 out of 5. Haunts. I don't know.
Rating.
Yeah. But yeah. What's going on, guys? Anything new?
No, we just survived the tornado.
Yeah, it's coming down pretty hard here. So yeah, there's been a lot of talk on Previously Recorded as of late about me providing feedback or details about the No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which, spoiler alert, that's what this episode is a little bit about. But before we get to that, there's been some news today in terms of kind of what we've been dealing with since the beginning of the pandemic in terms of theaters. There's been more release dates pushback for films. Today was 3 Paramount movies, which is a little bit shocking considering the box office has been doing pretty well, and that they have their own streaming service. And I don't know if they've made deals for the movies that they're getting ready to release already, that they can't release them directly or do like a day and date thing like almost everybody else has. But Top Gun Maverick has been pushed for the 5th time from November 19th to May 27th, 2022. Jackass Forever has been pushed from October to February 4th, 2022, which I'm pretty upset about.
That one hurt, yeah.
That's the last one, I think, actually out of the list.
Yeah, and then Mission Impossible 7 has moved to September 2022, which I before would have said who gives a shit, but during my quarantine, that was one of the franchises I watched, and I really like those movies now. And Haley Atwell's in it, which I didn't know. I found that out last week, I think. But
Ghostbusters got pushed too, right?
And then Ghostbusters did get pushed a week they took Top Gun's old release date of November 9th, which that makes sense. Venom's coming out October 15th. You want to give the movie a full month in theaters to get as much box office revenue as you can before your next film comes out. I don't know. I think Venom was going to stay. I think a lot of what happens is going to depend on how this weekend goes with Shang-Chi making its debut in theaters, which Bob and I had the fortunate opportunity to go see for this podcast. We were invited to go see the film. Bob, I've shared my thoughts on the movie. Do you want to?
Wait, I have a quick question before I get into that. So, like, are you going to go see it again in theaters? So, like, I know you're a big box office guy.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
You're still going opening night?
Yeah. I'm going to show my support, and it was a really good movie that I wouldn't mind seeing again.
No, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I don't know that I'd go on a Thursday night at this point, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. No, I like Shang-Chi. The way I kind of described it to people was that it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Obviously, it had the connections, but it just like recently Marvel movies have been just like so interconnected where it's like everything ties on everything else, whereas this one kind of felt like it was its own world. They reference like the blip and stuff like that a few times. Then obviously there's the Easter eggs and the cameos and things like that. And it does get connected, but like while you're watching it, it's not like, oh, I'm watching this movie that takes place in this universe that I've seen a billion movies for.
Yep.
And it was just like a cool action movie.
Well, my biggest thing was it felt fresh. And
I said it was family, like it felt like a family friendly like it was family friendly Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
As far as like the action sequences and things
fun
like
fact, it had the same writer as Mortal Kombat. But yeah,
Dude,
no, it was really good.
Dude's
go see it.
lately.
Yeah, go see it. It's worth going to the theater to see. As you can see, I'm going again.
How do you pronounce the name, Bob? The movie's title? How do you pronounce it, RP?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
I think I said Shang-Chi at one
You
point.
did. You said Shang-Chi.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry. I'm from Northeast Philly. I don't even say my own fucking name right.
So I had leading up to this movie.
You're gonna tell me how to say water now too? Jesus Christ.
So leading up to this movie until they released the trailer during like the NBA All-Star game, I had pronounced it Shang-Chi because that's how it's spelled. That's how we pronounce it.
Yeah.
And then when I did my Who is Shang-Chi episode, I had to cut like so many times because I kept mispronouncing his name.
I feel like I sound like I'm more offensive when I try to say it accurately because it sounds like I'm just trying to say like speak in another language that I don't know how to speak.
I still say Shang-Chi, but it just makes me laugh that RP is just like Shang-Chi.
I'm not saying it's Shang-Chi. It's Shang-Chi.
Stroking his little Fu Manchu beard. Shang-Chi.
It's easy. It's easy. That was his father. If you listen to the episode, that was his original inspiration.
I'm laughing in the car every time. Stanley wanted to make Shang-Chi.
I know. No, that's actually a really great point because I had to teach my brain to be like Shang-Chi because I've been saying Shang-Chi for so long. So if it sounds weird, I'm sorry, but that's how it was because that's how we talk with Shang-Chi. I wasn't trying to be offensive, but I had to be accurate.
That's my mentality. I'm not. I do not speak well, despite my profession and my ability to say things. I do not speak well, and that's just the way it is, and I know that.
But yeah, no, it was tricky. I caught myself a few times having to be like, "Damn it, just say Shang-Chi." So, but if just call it Shang-Chi, it's not a big deal. Shang-Chi. But that's coming out this as of today. This episode released. That's out. Go to the theaters. Go see it. It was really good. Just mask up or be vaccinated. Go to the theater. Nothing to worry about.
Or don't. We can't tell you what to do.
I can't tell you what to do. Okay, but anyway, so some other news aside from those release dates moving is that a thing broke online that Spider-Man may actually be moving to March 2022 when which we'll get into that a little bit, but it was reported by Grace Randolph, and everybody hates her, so nobody took it seriously. So I really hope that that's not the case, but a lot of insiders are saying that it depends on the box office of Shang-Chi and No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie. But I'm just like, just release the movies. Like, I get it. Spider-Man is going to be a potentially a huge movie. No Time to Die as well. Top Gun, Maverick. Like at this point, it's been delayed 2 years. Just release the movie. Like Tom Cruise is going to be 85 by the time it comes out, and they're going to try and do another. I'm just release it.
They're holding on to Top Gun because they realize that we hate Miles Teller, and they're waiting for us to try and
Is
come
he
around.
in it?
Yeah,
Is in it.
and they know that they're not going to sell any tickets if they don't have the support of the biggest Halloween Town podcast on the market.
I didn't know he was in it, and I immediately have no interest. I heard Val Kilmer was in it, and I was way interested. And now I heard he's in it, and I'm no interest.
So,
Well, wait, so I actually have a question about stuff from before. So is Paramount is just anything like Universal's Paramount too?
no, Paramount's its own
So
thing.
so Ghostbusters was not a Paramount.
So
specific.
Ghostbusters,
That was just separate because everybody else moved. They kind of slid theirs into a spot.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Sony. So Sony and Paramount are the two that are really theater. They're theater exclusives. They don't have, which Paramount has a streaming service, but
Do you think
they
that's
will
going to
not.
stop though? Because like, look at like you have the whole Scarlett Johansson thing, and like I feel like people are getting mad about the streaming service.
And then
releases.
Candyman did really well.
Candyman did well. That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
box offices are doing well. People are willing to go to the movies. There just hasn't been movies out there. And one of the tweets I read was that it's about global. Like they want to release it all at once. They don't want to do it here and then there later. But yeah, a lot of deals are being reworked, Bob, for that Scarlett Johansson stuff. HBO Max at the beginning of the year handled it up front. They immediately paid their actors and their talent up front that were owed back end deals. I'm being told from my inside. No, I read. I heard on a podcast that they paid Emma Stone like a nice like 8-figure lump of money for Cruella being released on Disney Plus and missing some of that money. So it was a big.
So they basically just screw over Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that's Bob Chapek, who's a piece of shit. He's the new CEO of Disney. This is the hill that he chose to die on. That's what a lot of people are talking about. And he's from the consumer products world, and he doesn't really know how. This is what Jim Hill, who is a theme park and like Disney insider, is what he's talked to a lot of people in there and just saying he doesn't really know how to deal with clients, and he's all about maximizing profit. So that's why I called him a piece of shit. As a person, I really have no idea how he is, but just from seeing stuff increase, like in the theme parks go up and all this stuff, it's
That
really
Genie Pass.
Yeah, Genie Plus is whatever. But yeah, no. So that
Bob is looking at us. You know what Genie Pass is?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a Disney World pay to skip the lines thing.
Fast Pass, mate. You have to pay for Fast
Pass now.
Oh, okay.
But basically, they were saying that lawsuit set a precedent for going forward, since it's the first one, and that's kind of why they responded so harshly. But yeah, so I think a lot of new deals will be built in back end, or they'll pay them up front, like they should have done. They said Feige was so mad about that, and Bob Iger was really mad about that. Well, it was a bad look all around. But
It's
I'm
been
not
so
sure.
long since I've been to any like Disney parks. I think that's why I have such a hard time pronouncing Shang-Chi.
He's their new staple.
I'm not as cultured as I once was when I would go to Epcot every once in a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on, I suppose. The only other news that came out was that so Moon Knight, they're filming Moon Knight right now, and apparently Mark Ruffalo is in the same location as this, and he's saying, somebody asked him if he was involved, and his response was, as being a focal point, I think is what he said. He said, as a person who's responsible for this next phase of the MCU, I'd hate to spoil something. I read that and I was actually really shocked because I thought he was kind of phasing his way out and not necessarily leading the next phase of the MCU as the Hulk.
Well, is he like a producer or anything?
No, he's not a producer. I think he may be a producer on things that the Hulk are involved in. Because I know he's involved in the creative process, but no, I think they mean himself. Like I guess
Yeah.
he's going to shepherd
Why
the
not?
next wave of
Yeah.
Avengers. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense. You got to have somebody. I mean, you have multiple people, but like
I guess he
these
makes
heroes
the
are
most
all
sense.
over the place. You know what I mean?
He's the most earthbound one at the moment.
Exactly.
Kind of.
So you have like Thor in space. You have him. Captain Marvel's off doing her own thing. Doctor Strange is dealing with like the
Multiverse.
multiverse stuff.
Well, we always have Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Which you guys are going to want more of Shang-Chi after you see the movie. But I thought that was interesting. It was something I didn't think about. I mean, we still have. It would be weird for it to see Ant-Man leading the Avengers, and I think
I forgot about him.
if Chadwick hadn't passed, we would have probably seen Black Panther lead them.
I don't think it's weird to see Ant-Man leading the Avengers at all. I
Or the Falcon.
I think he's an incredible leader and doesn't get as much respect as he deserves.
Wow, Bob's.
Yeah.
I didn't mean any of that. Yeah, nobody fucking wants to see that guy.
I mean, we saw in the What If that he could take out the Avengers team if he was competent.
Hank Pym could.
Yeah, I mean, he had the same technology, so.
Did you watch today's What If, Bob?
I didn't yet. No.
Okay. I did.
I just watched Friday's Ted Lasso today.
Okay.
I'm a little behind.
Ted Lasso has been. I found it enjoyable. I know people have not been enjoying it as much. I agree. It's not as good as season 1, but I still think it's very enjoyable. And people are going on their they're preaching about how it's terrible and it's bad TV.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It has a very different feeling, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Things have changed though. That's just people being mad that it's not the same.
Yeah.
I think the major difference is it's not focusing on Ted. It's focusing on everybody else.
Yeah, because Ted created the world. Yeah. He created the Richmond Greyhounds and he brought them all together. So now they all are interconnected.
I just need a Roy Kent spinoff. That's it.
He's the best character.
Roy you would just call Kent. He's every fucking where.
Yeah. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. Roy
you
Kent.
would just give him a second show.
And there have been weird pacing issues this season. I feel I watched it in a binge way, so that also can kind of be related to like season 1. I watched the binge, or here I'm watching week to week. But yeah, just people need to fucking chill out. This is a show that 95% of the people that watch it still love it. I still feel really great after watching it, during it, and really look forward every Friday to watching it. So people need to fucking relax. There's this one guy that tore it apart because they sang Christmas Baby Please Come Home in the Christmas episode, and they were like, that's a sad song. They changed the like, fuck you. Fuck off.
Yeah. That guy probably has a lot to say.
Yeah, he probably has other issues
from behind his computer.
I did. It was a published story. I will say that. So he's quote unquote credible, but so are we. So fuck them. But I tweeted him. I was like, this guy stinks, and I deleted it because I was like, it ain't worth it. But
he probably does stink though. It sounds like he stinks. I think you should have kept it. And for the record, we are credible. We are the world's foremost Halloween Town podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's why we got invited to Shang-Chi because Shang-Chi. Because we're just very credible. Disney likes that we cover one of their properties so heavily. We're so invested. I laid out the groundwork. It's a 3 to 5 year process. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween Town. This episode's going to be called the Halloween Town announcement because I wasn't ready, but to announce that to the world. But here we are, and this is what happens on previously Cromwell.
What is it? Previously Halloween Town.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that in any longer.
Previously Marnie.
Since I've just been so excited about our Halloween Town deal, which is not
lucrative at all.
A financial deal, but just a handshake deal between RP and all of us. Yeah, it's a handshake deal between RP and all of us that we're just going to talk about Halloween Town a lot.
Every episode.
Every single episode. Not lucrative at all. But without further ado, I suppose it's time to dive into the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer. The Spider-Man No Way Home trailer finally dropped. We've been talking about it for weeks. Put that shit up to your microphone. If you crack your beer, you got to do it in the mic.
Yeah, I forgot the mic's up here.
Yeah, that's pathetic. Anyway, so the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer finally dropped after months and months of where's it at? What's this marketing? Hundreds of texts to Marvel
Yep,
about
hundreds of texts.
might be dropping today, might be dropping tomorrow. I don't know what the deal is. But it finally dropped at CinemaCon, but not before it leaked online the night before, as a video of on a phone of a phone of a phone, like Inception. And I didn't watch it. I for whatever reason, even though I've been hankering for this trailer, I was like, I need to see this in the proper way that they and everybody who worked on this movie was meant for it to be seen. And I can wait a day because I knew it was going to come out within either hours or the next day. So Marvel, you watched it, Bob, but you didn't watch the leaked one, right?
No, I waited.
Yeah. And I said I think I was talking, Shane was actually over that day, and I said, when somebody leaked the Comic-Con footage of Infinity War, I watched that because it was like in a Hall H presentation, they were showing it. I was like, whatever. I was super excited for that movie. Where this was stupid because the person's name was literally like watermarked on it, on the trailer, and then the person who saw it too, like, so dumb. So I was just like, I'm not watching this. But you did, and was that trailer similar to the one that was actually shown, or was it a little bit different?
It was basically the same. The only thing, it jump cut a lot, and I think it was just because it must have been like an Instagram story or something that it was grabbed on, or it was in pieces, so it didn't show like the beginning with Peter and MJ talking. Like, it just kind of showed a lot of the action scenes. It did show him talking to Strange, and then like the Wong thing, and then the whole spell, and then it did like the whole train like scene, but the CG wasn't there, so it just looked like really weird. Yeah, so this must have been months ago.
Mm-hmm.
They must have been holding on to it.
Yeah, so there had been a rumor that they were going to release it in July, and then the date got out. And people make shit up, so I don't really know. But this trailer debuted. I had seen from the people on Twitter and previously had that scoop and tweeted it out that it would have been on around 9 or 9:30. So I was ready and waiting. And so when it dropped, I nearly shit my pants because I had been waiting for this for a very, very long time. I was very, very pleased by it. I thought it showed enough and didn't show anything at the same time. I think it gave you a general synopsis of the movie, and that there was that big reveal at the end, which is a huge reveal, honestly. And I think they gave away, honestly, for a teaser trailer, I feel like they gave away a lot.
It should have. It's sad because it should have been a bigger.
It should have been a bigger.
Yeah, a bigger
Absolutely.
pop. Like, we knew Jamie Foxx leaked it forever ago that he was involved.
Yeah. So
didn't everybody know that was going to happen?
So
it wasn't confirmed that Melina especially was in it.
Yeah,
but it's been like it was everywhere. We've talked about it for months about how many people are supposedly in this movie. That scene could be like a dream sequence, and then that's it. Like, we don't know what that is,
right? And that's the good thing about the trailer too. Everything's out of sorts, and I believe that shot is real. Bob, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was good. I'm not a big trailer guy.
Nope.
I usually will only watch the first for any given movie unless it's like something crazy. Because not so much for Marvel, but a lot of movies, I feel like you watch the trailer, they have 3 trailers or whatever, and then by the time you get to the movie, you realize like the best parts of the movie were the stuff that was already in the trailer. Like, I feel like that happened. There was a sequence of time where like that was the case. So I've kind of stopped watching trailers. This one, obviously, I was curious about for that reason, that there were so many people kind of like tied to the movie, even if it wasn't directly. And like, it's the whole multiverse stuff. I think that you can put legitimately whatever you want in this movie, and it could be like a split second scene where Peter's in this other dimension and he comes back from it, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make a difference. The Strange stuff was cool. You've been texting a lot of the crazy theories that people have, which is always entertaining. But yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was good. I was. It's weird for me with these kind of trailers because like I could not see the trailer and I'm still gonna go see the movie the first time it comes out.
So I knew that you enjoyed it because you said they have my attention. And for people that don't know Bob, that is when it comes to this stuff, he's not like me, where he's not like, oh my God, did you see that? He's very, very short, very concise. So for him to say they have
that
my attention,
the fact that I texted back was how you knew.
yeah,
I acknowledged that the trailer was sent into a group text as how
yeah,
you knew. And I actually was I marked out a little bit that night because I was like sitting there on Twitter checking to see if it was posted yet too.
really,
And yeah,
really,
so
look at that little
because I
behind the
did know
scenes.
that it was coming out that night to the point where like I had Monday Night Football on to see if that's how they were going to like sneak it in at
Yeah,
halftime or something like that.
yeah. Because it debuted at CinemaCon, and a lot of the times they don't show the audience, like us, the general people. The CinemaCon is for people, for like really the movie industry and like the figureheads and theater owners. So they typically don't show that stuff to normal people. So that was also like a question, like, will they show it? But the leak trailer definitely forced their hand. And I think everybody's excited. Everybody that likes these kind of stuff, there's people that shit on the MCU Spider-Man. They call him Iron Boy Jr. and things like that. They're not going to like it, and they're just going to find reasons not to like it. But you look at like the potential for what this movie has, not only for being potentially, probably, I'm not going to say probably, potentially one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, if not the best Spider-Man movie made. But just huge ramifications for the MCU, and allows them to do weird, fun shit. So the hype is absolutely there. Um, like I said, Bob was scrolling Twitter, and that he
Well,
doesn't do that.
it's the biggest trailer now, right?
Yeah, so that is a really interesting fact, that it happened quick. I mean, it's the way that they measure successful, quote unquote, successful trailers now is based on their 24-hour mark, how many views they have in 24 hours. So
Didn't Tom Holland say it was going to set the record, or was that the previous Spider-Man movie? I feel like I saw that clip from like an interview,
oh, maybe,
but I don't know if it was this movie or another one.
I'm not sure actually. But he said he like put on his Instagram story, "You guys aren't ready yet," like because he knew, and he said that this teaser is just the tip of the iceberg for the movie, and I genuinely believe that. I think this movie is going to be crazy. But it broke the record of global views in the first 24 hours with 355.5 million global views in the first 24 hours. It broke the Avengers Endgame record of 289 million views, which is insane because Avengers Endgame was probably the most anticipated movie of my lifetime. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm doing bad math in my head. So, and it broke it by 66 million views.
11, 60, yeah, 66. Yep,
Okay.
66 million views. I think aside from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, Endgame was probably the most anticipated movie in my life, and for it to be by 66 million views, it alone on YouTube has 60 million views. It's just crazy to me, and part of the reason why I think this movie will get delayed is because of that. I know the hype is there, but I also genuinely believe if people are going to go, okay, well, if there's going to be a movie that I'm going to go to the theater for, it's going to be that. And
I'd like to take a step back just really quickly and comment on something RP just said. It is a very anticipated movie. Halloween Town 2 is definitely the most anticipated movie of our lifetimes.
Well,
and second to that, only to Halloween Town.
Well, Halloween
3.
Town.
Halloween Town
5 would
High
be-
did not really have
Yeah.
the hype around it that
so they
it
did
should have.
they weren't counting trailer views back then in the early 2000s. If not, it would have been through the roof.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Yeah, Spider-Man's cool and all, but it's not Halloween Town.
Yeah.
It's no Marnie and Grandma. It doesn't have anything on that. But yeah, so for that reason, maybe this movie gets delayed. I hope it doesn't. But I think this would definitely be one that people who have been afraid to go to the movies or not willing to go to will definitely go. But Marvel made this point to me that there's a really good chance that people don't go see Shang-Chi and Eternals now, and they're just going to hold off until Spider-Man.
No,
And
Shang-Chi and Eternals they were snapped away as soon
yeah,
as this trailer came out. And I think that might have been part of them not wanting to put it out
hmm
because it literally that trailer came out and people were like, "Who? What? Shang-Chi's coming out?" Like it's just everything's Spider-Man now.
We
it's a
had
t-
already seen it, so it didn't even affect my impact
that's
though.
Mhm.
it's just crazy. We saw that felt like forever ago when we saw the movie, but
It's 2 weeks, wasn't it?
yeah, two or 3 weeks
It
ago.
feels
Two.
yeah, it does feel like a long time.
You're right. I think that is the case, but it also could have the reverse effect where people are like, "Oh, Spider-Man's coming out. I got to catch up with the MCU. I got to know what's going on." Especially with Eternals, I think is going to be just as big of kind of ramifications of Shang-Chi, like going forward.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, yeah, you
This
guys
isn't a
corrected me.
political question, but it's going to get political ties just because of the world that we live in right now. Do you think the fact that things are probably going to be worse with the virus come December are also going to affect the theater? Like the aspect of this being
Yeah,
released when it's supposed to come out?
yeah,
Like
that's
even let's say like people go to the movies for Shang-Chi, but
yeah,
then things like protocol could change and stuff like that could change by December.
yeah. So that's the big thing why a lot of the other movies have gotten delayed is
Were
that
they all winter releases?
yep,
Okay.
October, November, and I don't Mission Impossible. I think just got moved because it was like one of the I think it
It was
was
like a
May.
sequence, like it got affected by the other ones.
Yeah, so they're definitely worried about the global aspect because I think theaters in like India just reopened. Um, there's places that I think China just recently opened as well. Um, so yeah, that's the main reason. It's not definitely not the interest. It's just the fear of people not feeling comfortable enough to go to the movies. Um, so I hope things change. I hope people do whatever they need to do to feel safe and go. But the fact that they released the trailer with the release date and didn't say this winter has me very optimistic that this movie may come out on time. So we'll have to see how Shang-Chi, James Bond do. Uh, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
What's the latest you think they could push it?
Next winter because it's a
No,
Christmas
no, I don't
movie
mean like
almost.
the latest they could make the decision.
Um,
Like obviously they can make the decision whenever they want, but when?
I think it would be after Eternals.
Okay.
I think I think they're not going to actually Venom. How Venom and Ghostbusters do because it is a Sony movie.
And they're
Uh,
established.
mhm.
Like
The only
like Shang-Chi is new, so they're not gonna
the
base it off him.
the only the only thing that I think may like work for it is that it is a Sony and Marvel co-production, and if it moves, everything else for Marvel has to move because everything's connected. I think
hmm
there's a very strategic reason why this is coming out before Doctor Strange. Um, so
I
that would
mean, we've
be
seen that happen before.
yeah, because Shang-Chi was actually supposed to come.
Shang-Chi. Let's just make it one word.
Shang.
Shang-Chi was supposed to come out after the Eternals. It was
Yeah.
originally, and then they just like moved it back because its placement didn't matter. So yeah, I'm not sure, but that's like part of the reason why I think like Marvel. I don't think Marvel's going to move or move their movies. I think it is what it is. They are going to get what they can get. If they need to go back to the Disney Plus model, they will. I
Oh
think.
please.
But
Is there budget information about this movie yet?
Spider-Man, it's a
Yeah.
$200+ million movie.
Then what do you say? You double that for marketing, right?
Yep. Well, not with them. No, I would say not with them because they have held out on their mark. They've done one thing for marketing, and they've released a trailer 4 months. Typically, the trailers come about 6 months.
Okay, so it won't be as much
Yeah,
as far as marketing goes.
but maybe. There's definitely a shit ton of merchandise. Merchandise broke first for the movie. Like that was half the reason why I was so invested on what the hell's going on, because like suits were
That daily
breaking.
that Daily Bugle set's not for this movie, right? That's just
No.
a
No, it's just a fun
Spider-Man
thing.
thing, right?
The Lego set.
Um,
I think
but
it's
yeah,
sweet.
typically what they say is take the budget, double it for marketing, and then that's when you break even. So we would have to make
They'd
probably
have
about
to make
400,
400.
which I think it could do if we're in a good place. Like I said, people have shown that even with Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus, that movie just made $100 million in strictly the box office domestically. Like people are ready to return. Free Guy has done well. So I'm just holding out hope because this movie, I was really, really excited for the Eternals and really looking forward to that. And then within the last like 6 months, that's really changed because I'm just really excited for Strange 2 and this. But we'll see. That's the boring side of some of this, the technical side of some of this stuff. But back to the trailer. Like I said, I feel like they revealed a lot. They showed 5 of the potentially sinister 6. They showed Doc Ock.
Hello, Peter.
Which could be, who knows the circumstances of that. They showed the Goblin Bomb that is specific to the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi movies.
And Will Dafoe's cackle.
And Willem Dafoe's cackle. Yep.
Which I thought was actually a nod to Halloween Town, but now that makes sense. Yeah, that checks out now that you say that.
Well, they asked us, did we think that should they change them to actual pumpkins? And I said, no, just keep them the way it was. It's a lot of paperwork to change these things, especially in post.
Yeah.
We saw.
I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he points when the pumpkin came up, and I was like, "Oh, Halloween Town."
Yeah, like I was shocked that they showed the pumpkin bomb. I really do wish they didn't show any of this, but I think the reason they showed Molina is because he blabbed his mouth. You can make out Electro. You can see a lot of lightning strikes, which they did change to yellow instead of blue. And you could see that looked like Sandman was kind of defending Spider-Man, which at the end of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. If it is, what's his name again?
Yeah, I forget his name, the guy from George of the Jungle. And
that's what you know him from?
Yep, that's what I know.
That's what I know him from too, to be honest.
I know him from Sideways for some reason. I never watched that movie, but
I was gonna say I've never seen Sideways, but apparently you haven't either. So.
I put Sideways on. I was with my grandparents, and they rented it from Blockbuster, and they put it on they put on Sideways, and within the first 5 minutes, turned it off because of how vulgar it was. And they were such like, no, don't curse. So then they also show there's a split second where they show Peter turning around real quick and something hitting looks like a protective mirror or like a protective spell. And that's believed to be the lizard. So that's 5 of the 6 Sinister 6. It would make sense if Vulture or Scorpion came into play.
I think Scorpion makes more sense because
Vulture you've seen.
And Vulture's in Morbius, so it's like,
yeah,
I feel like his story is going to continue there, where they left that Scorpion as a huge dangle at the end of 1, and like Marvel is pretty good about tying loose ends, so we'll see.
And Scorpion was on that Lego set.
Which one?
Wait, where was Scorpion before?
At the end
of Homecoming.
Yeah, the after credit to Homecoming, he asks Vulture.
Keaton, yeah.
Like who Spider-Man actually is, and they say his name's McGargan.
Oh, okay, I know.
And like that's, and then he also has like a scorpion tattoo.
Yeah, I know. I remember
to be obvious of who it is.
Yeah, because people wouldn't connect it. But
yeah,
well, I mean, we'll see. It could be split seconds here and there. We did get a glimpse of the black and gold suit, which is just, I believe, his suit flipped inside out. I don't know the point of that. Maybe it's not. I could be wrong.
The one thing I'll say that I absolutely hate is when he suits up and it is like that nanotech.
Oh,
like when he's on top of the car and all of a sudden he like beds down and the suit just goes like that is what, like, I love Tom Holland. I love the MCU Spider-Man, but I do need some like tangibility to his costume. Like it's not just like, oh shit, there's trouble. Like all of a sudden he's Spider-Man. Like that might be out of context. It might be a different scene. It might not even be, because Marvel is good at putting stuff in and taking stuff out of the trailers. Right. But that was the one thing where I was like, ugh, like, come on. This is what people are complaining about.
Yep. So there's 2 things about that scene. So he's wearing the suit that a lot of people are saying is the exact suit that Tobey wore in the 3rd Spider-Man movie when he's being chased at the very beginning of the film. It's very similar. Who knows if it is the exact same? The ties are different. And 2, my thought process is that that suit that they morph on him is not that suit. It's his new
The
suit
magic one or
with
something.
the
Yeah.
integrated magic, and they're just doing that to hide it. You can see in this shot with the Electro and the Sandman that he does have the flip thing there, the magic piece on his arm. So I just think that might be Marvel
Just fucking with us.
fucking with us a little bit.
Also,
it's
when he does,
possible another Spider-Man could be wearing the Iron Spider suit too.
yeah, when he does like the arms come out,
Mm-hmm.
like that looks weird. Like it looks like
Yeah.
there might be something else in that shot.
Yep.
It's
There's
just like
the
too
rumor.
big. Yeah.
The rumor is there's two other people standing side by side.
Yeah, it is a weird shot. Like he's centered.
accept the fact that Mephisto is responsible for all of this.
So that is a huge thing on Twitter. Of course, it is right now. That a lot of people.
It's been a huge thing on Twitter for every Disney thing
Yeah.
ever come out.
So the big thing is though, people believe that Doctor Strange is Mephisto. People keep saying, "What's up with him? He seems off. He looks different."
I don't think he seems off. Like I don't know why. He just seems like casual.
He seems a little.
You just saved the world, man. Like you're cash. I like fuck it.
Very true. He seems a little bit cheery, which people I guess are not used to with him.
It's Christmas time. Like, come on.
It's true.
He just saved the universe.
He's
it's
in
Christmas
a jacket.
time. He's
in a
gloves,
jacket.
boots on. Like a
Have you ever
cash.
seen Stephen Strange in a jacket?
Mm-hmm.
No,
He's never cold. Now all of a sudden he's cold, Mephisto.
His mug too says
What Fox?
What the for Fox's sake.
Fox's sake.
Which I thought was clever.
Which is actually so you know how Marvel does that thing where they'll put things in and take things out of trailers. His mug actually says "I am Mephisto," and
and Peter goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Don't worry about it."
Whoops.
Or I heart Calabar.
Yeah, and he changes it real fast. So it says.
So that's actually the
sake.
reveal. Strange is Calabar.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. We're breaking news here. Halloween Town news. Halloween Town has entered the MCU.
When the pumpkin bomb goes off, it transforms New York into Halloween Town.
Mm-hmm. The monotone version from
Marley has to
from 2.
Yeah, where they're all like it's like gray.
And Strange is looking for the Calabar spell book, and he sends Peter, his son, to retrieve it from Marnie. It's a whole thing. You really should see it. But that's the rumor. I don't think anything's up. I think, and people are like, "Oh, just a Spider-Man talking during the spell," which is a very Peter Parker thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I also think there's more going on in that scene.
Yeah, there has to be
context. One interesting thing, though, and I've thought about this recently, he's still wearing the Eye of Agamotto. There's no Infinity Stone in it. Does it still have power?
I think it's because how did they explain that? Like the Eye of Agamotto was the stone? Like was that established? Like was that always canon in those movies?
Well, that's what he opens
or
it
was
up
it just what holds?
Yeah,
did they say the stone? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure because
it would be weird to have him without the eye because that's so iconic to the comics.
Well, people have said that in Infinity War, Thanos grabs it and breaks it and goes a fake. So I don't know.
I think
if it has more powers. They just haven't explained it, or I need to rewatch.
It's like a Return of Jafar when Genie still has his cufflinks.
Yep.
Even though he doesn't need them, but he looks weird without them.
It's such a specific thing that I knew exactly what you're talking about, though.
He just looks weird without him. He need them.
Yeah. So
my wish list, my number one, like obviously, the other Spider-Men are in it. Like, let's not try to pretend they're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's been heavily rumored. Every rumor that's kind of come around has come true. My biggest thing is I hope they mentor him more to be more Spider-Man like. They kind of maybe move away from the Iron Man thing, and I hope one of them. I hope they talk about Uncle Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing. I hope Uncle Ben finally gets his mention because that's such a huge part of his mythos that's been lacking. And then I hope one of them tell him the great responsibility line.
Yeah,
because that's another thing that's been missing. Like I hope
it's
Tobey Maguire is like the mentor.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're going to get. I think
Mm.
if you could tell me to put money down on anything, it would 100% be down that Toby has to say to him, with great power comes great responsibility.
And I hope they just kill Andrew Garfield off. Like I hope he like that's my wish is like there's a big battle scene. Doc Strange is like, I got this, and opens the portal, and here comes Tobey Maguire, and like does some awesome shit. And he's like, I got another one, and then Andrew Garfield jumps through, and then gets fucking impaled by the Green Goblin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he jumps
pushed back through the portal.
He like trips over the portal as he's like coming in and gets like hit by a car.
Gets cut in half.
It's just it would be very odd for this Spider-Man that we have so far to be able to take on all those villains by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Strange being there makes sense, and that would help. But to have these other villains and not have the Spider-Man doesn't make sense. And for Ock to say hello, Peter, to Tom Holland Spider-Man doesn't make sense, unless he's just seeing Spider-Man. But in that series of events, he's not just Spider-Man, but he's in this Peter outfit.
Is Mysterio coming back?
That's a rumor as well.
Really?
I
All right. So what's your you know all the rumors right now, RP. What's your favorite?
My favorite rumor
That you would want to happen.
If we're not counting the Spider-Man.
Yeah, like something outlandish, something that like is like unlikely, but you think would be fun.
Mysterio coming back. That would be
okay.
Mephisto. Mephisto would be good because that's what happens in One More Day. Like it is Mephisto. But
I don't want Mephisto ever because I want every movie for the rest of the time to have Mephisto. If it happens once, now you can't do that anymore.
I think it would be a weird property for them to bring him into a Spider-Man. I think if we're gonna see him, it would probably be in Multiverse of Madness, or
I think that's a strange situation.
Yeah, or like maybe even Thor. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Mephisto would be too much. It's too.
Yeah.
But I can't say that because Marvel's pretty good. Like they've gone off the rails and done some wild stuff. So like Mephisto isn't out of the realm of possibility, but he would just be like he would need to be a big threat, but Marvel would mess it up and have him being like Thor. The next Thor movie as like a goofy background character.
I think especially now. I mean, it would make sense because this movie's been in production for a long time. That if he did show up, it would make sense. But it'd also be kind of funny because it's like he's been in every other thing that we've all thought was just a bit because we all just were like.
You find out that the blip never happened and Mephisto
it's just Mephisto fucking with everybody.
Phase 1, it just didn't fucking matter.
Well, that's I think they like retconned Mephisto recently in the comics where like he's been involved in everything.
Really?
Like every big event, like he's had his hand in like the background. So that'd be cool if they brought him in for that. Like he kind of whispered in Thanos' ear and like nudged the Ultron program along.
So Marvel, I do want to kind of double back to what you were saying. Like I do agree that the biggest complaint I have with these Spider-Man movies, as much as I love them, they are in my top Spider-Man movies, that I feel like he hasn't had a solo movie. Homecoming, yes, he did grow, but the Iron Man was in it. And Far From Home was a solo movie, but the Iron Man was looming over him the entire
Fury.
time.
Like
he's all the Shield stuff too.
Yeah, he's still being mentored.
So, and then this is just another. Strange is going to be in it. The other Spider-Men are going to be in it. So I do hope this is his last. They said that this is their last that they're contracted for. I would love to see another trilogy where they get back to just solo. Like Shang-Chi is honestly an odd movie in recent years because everything has been and everything on the docket from Marvel appears to be team up movies. It's a lot of big event films.
I mean, that's when I was saying it didn't feel like a Marvel movie because the recent Marvel movies you're like waiting for somebody else to show up and they don't really show up.
Yeah, so and I think that they're taking advantage of Disney Plus and doing a lot of the solo stories on there and then bringing into the movies. But yeah, I definitely agree with you there. So I do hope we do get like a truly Spider-Man movie after this, as epic and huge as this is going to be, and I'm so excited for it. I would love to see like a genuine Spider-Man movie after this, where it's just him. He's finally matured. He's grown up, like a Tom Holland grown up, and but also like it kind of makes sense, like for them then I can understand as a boy who lost his father figure after losing his father to latch on to Tony. Like if Tony Stark walked into my life and like I was Spider-Man and like was just started helping, I would be probably up his ass too. And if you're in that world, like, he's an Avenger and you things like that. So I do agree with you there. But I think the trailer was 10 out of 10. It did what it was supposed to do. It hyped everything up. It got us ready to return to the movies, I believe. And we'll see. And I know that you both liked it. The weirdest part too, when it released on Twitter, that's where I watched it first. It released with subtitles, like not
Yeah,
normal subtitles, which was so strange. Like it was
it wasn't
big lettering.
subtitles. They were like
Doctor Strange.
part of the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that what you mean? Yeah, like it
Yeah.
was. It wasn't just like subtitles at the bottom. It was like integrated into the trailer.
Like as they talked, the word like appeared word by word. It was very strange. Doctor Strange, as Bob
Doctor
would say.
Strange.
Yep.
And
I don't
just
think
thought
I even like noticed that, to be honest.
it was odd. If you watch it on
It was
YouTube,
immediately
it's not
noticeable.
there.
I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
What did you send? I feel like I saw it on Twitter, but you
I
sent
sent it on Twitter.
on Twitter too,
And I
right?
was very calm when I said it. I said it is here.
Because I had already watched it when you sent it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I
sent it. I said it before I watched it because I wanted to be a good friend.
It was very calm because the amount of text that I've received of a possibility. So, audience, it's been like 5 months, almost on a daily basis, where I'll get a text and be like, I heard a rumor that Spider-Man trailer is going to drop. Tomorrow is International Spider Day, and it might drop. And then like 2 weeks later, it'd be like, today is Stan Lee's wife's niece's birthday, so it might be dropping.
There was a story on the news about spiders in India, so I think it's going to drop today.
It's Stan Lee's wife's daughter's sister colonoscopy, so it might drop today. Like that was 100%. Like I was very, very excited. So it hit the notch. The other weird rumor that people have been saying is right before Dr. Octopus shows up, it says,
"Be careful what you wish for, Parker."
And it's clearly Doctor Strange. And people are saying that it's Willem Dafoe or James Franco. Like it's clearly Benedict Cumberbatch.
James Franco canceled? Is he even allowed to be?
Yeah, he's not. He's canceled. He can't be around children.
And then
he can't be close enough to a school to be hanging out with Peter Parker.
And then just one final thing too that people have been a little confused about. I think when Doctor Strange pushes Peter out of into his astral form, that the spell was so powerful and so maybe so messed up that even Strange doesn't remember putting the spell on Peter, and he doesn't know who Spider-Man.
I don't know. I think we're getting a strange Spider-Man fight.
That'd be cool.
Because if you look, Spider-Man has something on his hand, like a box.
Yeah, it's a Doctor Strange box.
The astral form thing might be where he sees some of these people.
Maybe.
And it might not be like the pivotal aspect of the movie we just think it is.
It better be. I need a giant Sinister Six ending.
I think if they don't, people are going to be mad.
Yeah, and Sony's been trying to do. Remember when they were trying to do a Sinister Six movie?
Immediately.
Like Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and literally, like, if you went on like Fandango and downloaded something, like they sent a picture of like the Sinister Six. Like it was like Mysterio and like
all
they did weird promotion before that movie was even like greenlit.
The end credit scene of that movie is like them walking past like the tentacles and the
that's during the movie. Yeah, the end credit scene is just someone coming to Osborn in prison. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
that movie's dog shit. I love Spider-Man, but both of those movies are not good.
I like the
Lizard looks like dog shit. First off. He looks awful. I hope if he is in this movie, he's like alligator like.
I think they improved that because from more people are suspecting it's not like a round head like it is in that movie. Yeah, it's weird.
And then Jamie Foxx was terrible. It's the same gimmick that we talked about with like Wonder Woman 2, where it's like this nerdy fucking guy, and then he gets like powers, takes his glasses off, and like all of a sudden it's like, oh, Electro. But he literally was like, "You forgot my name," and then he tries to kill Spider-Man. It's like,
yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
It is dumb. So I think they'll right the wrongs here. And then John Watts, who directed it and wrote it, he did the last two Spider-Man movie, must be doing something right because he's doing Fantastic Four And then I also think that this that it's including all these stuff is because Sony and Marvel made a deal, and Kevin Feige said Spider-Man is such a character that is so well known that can jump universes or something like that. And I think that this is their solution to be able to have him in a Venom movie and then have him in the MCU. And I think
I want him done after this.
Tom Holland?
Not like I don't want him to have any. I don't want him with Venom.
No, I don't want him with
that
it
shit
either.
sucks. I don't want him Morbius because that shit's gonna suck. Like I don't like you said you want to do another Spider-Man trilogy. I'm good. Like if he's just with the Avengers, I'm fine. He's fighting the Sinister Six. I'm good. This is all I ever need in my life.
Yeah.
The Mysterio comes back and he's part of it. I'm fucking coming to my pants in the theaters. And I'll be. It literally is like the Sinister Six are the fucking coolest villains to me. So
I enjoy talking about it. I can talk about this for hours. I have watched it at least 15 times.
The 6 million. The 66 million. RP was the 6 million that put it over the edge.
RP's the 66 million that went over the top for sure.
I was, for the record, I would want Endgame to retain that title, but I do think it's pretty crazy.
I heard that Sony called you directly to say thank you.
They did. They said, "Hey, I know that you're taking some time away from Halloween Town from watching that, and we really appreciate it." Like I said, I could talk here forever, but I want to move on real quick. So there was a couple weeks ago, there was people put out, and I've been setting this to Bob and Shane as a possible topic for at least 2 months. People put out 100 reasons to love America. It is awful. It is a garbage list. It's awful, and I think we can get a few laughs out of some of them. So
I think this is an episode. I think you hold on this.
You want me to hold off on this?
Yeah, I think this is just an easy episode.
Yeah, what do you?
All right. How
about 100 of them? Why give me 3 now and we can make fun of all 100?
Give me 100. What's number 100?
Yeah, let's do a little appetizer for a later episode.
So I'm going to give you 199. That's what I'm going to do.
What? Wait, how many are there?
Oh, that was 100.
You're going to give us 100 and also 99.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, all right.
If you had to guess 100, what would you think the 100th reason
to love America?
To love America? Kardashians.
You're not wrong. You're not far off with the Kardashians. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's rekindled romance is number 100.
That's what number 100. So if anything, first off, if there's a romance that you can love America for, it's the fact that Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are now dating.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a billion years after.
Well, that's 52.
Yeah, that's 50 even.
And then number 99. If you had to guess what 99 was, what would you guess? This one I definitely think is paid for by CBS.
CBS?
CBS.
Like the Big Bang Show, just to show the Big Bang show is like number 99.
No, it's not.
The Roseanne reboot.
No, so there's this show on CBS called The Equalizer, starring Queen Latifah. And Queen Latifah is 99, and that was 100% paid for by CBS.
Wait, so are these just people? Like, these aren't reasons to love America. These are just human beings.
Number 98 is Dancing Robots. So
we do robots.
That's only in America?
Yeah, we do robots like shit. Did you see the robots shooting 3-pointers at the Olympics in Japan?
Dude, this is...
All right, save for another. That's just a team.
Yeah, hold on to this list.
Like, this is... It's very enjoyable. I think this will be a lot to talk about. Lights, Camera, Barstool spent a lot of time talking about it.
Someone else already did it then? Forget it. We can't steal from them. It was
very, very comical. They did it. They just like kind of ran through it.
Well, then listen to them. Don't listen.
Fuck you.
Unless you're here to listen to us talk about Halloween Town, you can go listen.
Yeah, is Halloween Town on the list of 100?
Number 1 is Halloween Town.
It better be.
Number 2 is Halloween Town High. They skipped over 2. They didn't like 2.
It just didn't have the traction it should have when it was coming out.
So do you want me to share my screen and just show you guys what not say it, but just show you guys what number 1 and 2 are, because it's quite literally baffling.
I think the audience.
Do you want to do a podcast for this or not?
I do, but I want to show you guys.
Then just hold on.
Yeah, this is a tease.
So okay. I'm doing the tease.
So I was saying, if you don't want to do this as a podcast, because like Tamara Barstool did it,
Yeah, we
you
just
say it.
we
but
don't
if
say
we're
it out
gonna do
loud.
it, We're gonna do it. Yeah, show it. I want to know what it is.
So look at number 2 and then look at number 1. Number 2.
Wow.
Number
Wow.
2.
Dude.
Number 1.
Number one.
Number one's not wrong.
is it.
Number
The
one's
end.
not wrong.
Isn't that fucking baffling?
But
No, number one is
number one.
my
Yeah.
world.
that's the number one reason to love America.
I don't disagree, but the fact that that is number 2 and that is number 1 is
I
just
didn't
like
even look. Number one was so beautiful. I didn't even look at number 2.
I,
It was so beautiful.
I was staring at number one for quite a while.
This list is absolutely baffling.
I
and
Who's it made by?
people.
Oh, People Magazine, not just people. Just people.
It wasn't People Magazine. It was just random people came up with a list of 100.
I found it on a blog somewhere. Yeah.
Just people.
I thought there was no chance that number one would be anything that was credible enough to hold a number one spot.
I mean,
But it
That
is.
is.
Yeah.
That is. You can't disagree with the number 1 people.
Mm-mm.
So
No, you can't.
that is 100% a future episode. It would be a lot of fun to talk about because it's garbage. And
No, it's not. Not number one.
Yeah. Now, when you work down from 100,
Yeah.
it's one. It's garbage. When you work back from one,
Yeah.
they're really crushing it.
like I could spend a lot of time on that. But I think that about does it here. I did also want to share some information with you guys that the Batman has shown a cut to audiences already. Very, very positive response.
What's the release date for that?
March, I think.
I was gonna
March
say
or
it's like next year, right?
Mhm.
So that was cool. And
Ghostbusters got great response too.
great
Yeah.
response
Watch
too.
that.
I'm hyped for that.
Another rare trailer I watched only because I think you sent it, Marvel.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm hyped
Or
for
you
that one.
commented on it in the group text.
It has every
And
time
I
I've
was
gone
like,
to
ooh.
the.
I just sent eggplant emojis and the water splash.
Yeah, you
that was my comment.
I think that's why I watched it. I was like, okay.
Every time I've gone to the movies, I've seen that recently. The trailer for that. It does look
You-
good. I have to watch the original.
Yeah, you got to watch the
Ghostbusters.
original. Just
I
the
know,
first
just
one.
Show
Don't watch
us-
two.
Yeah, you didn't watch. I like 2, but 2 is dumb. I only like 2 because it's like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
do
it
enjoy
together.
2, but I don't think it matters to this movie.
I don't think so either.
No. And then Spider-Man No Way Home has a reported runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is what some theater chains are
It's
blocking
exhausting.
out. I want it to be longer. I want it to be about 3. But I
Mm.
think that about does it for me here. Anything to plug before we go, Bob?
Oh yeah, there's a series on Disney Plus of films called Halloween Town. Check them out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What If as well. What If has been very good. Episode
I'm
2 is
watching
my
Barry
favorite.
on HBO. Actually, that's a show that I'm currently
Shane
watching
likes.
for the first
I
time.
watched the first season. I liked it a lot. Shane really likes that show.
I have about 2 episodes left in the second season.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Hmm.
All I like that, like things that I'm plugging are things that came out 3 years ago, and that's why we're pretty.
Ted Lasso every Friday. Watch that always. Marvel. Before we go, thanks again for joining us. It's been quite some time since you've been
Don't I get to plug
on.
anything?
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
All right.
Butthole.
Anything to plug before we go?
Doom Patrol is coming, season 3. I think it's on HBO Max.
It is
I
on
don't
HBO
know because the
Max.
DC
It is
app
HBO
is
Max.
gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That show's
And, like,
fantastic.
I want to say it's like USA or TNT because all that stuff's on HBO Max now. One of them is like pushing Titans hard. Like I see Titans on.
I think it was on
basic cable
TNT.
all the time now.
Yeah.
I think it is TNT because speaking of plugs, I watch AEW Dynamite. It's currently on in the background
Mhm.
on TNT, and I feel like
Mm.
that's where I see it because like I'll turn my TV back on and it's still on that channel.
Yeah, but Doom Patrol is a
Titans
great
looked
show.
awful. Did you? I don't know if you guys watched
I've
it.
heard-
Supposedly this season's
Yeah,
half decent.
That first
what I-
trailer for like when it first came out. Just I was
Yeah.
like, no, I will never watch that
It was
show.
I've
Fuck
heard-
you, fuck Batman. You're like, ugh, all right, we get it.
I've heard-
where's Zack Snyder involved in this.
I've
Mhm.
heard this season's been good, and that this season of The Flash has been horrible.
Well, they had lightsabers.
Yeah, dude.
They
I think,
literally made,
I think CW shows are just
they made lightning lightsabers and they fought each other.
CW shows have jumped the shark at this point.
Oh, Stargirl though. Season 1 was really good, surprisingly good.
That's what
was
happens.
It, was
dude.
it 13 episodes and then they made it 23 and it's just too
And that's
many.
what I'm worried about. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that was only on HBO or the DC app, and now it's on CW.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's on CW and HBO Max.
But
So like, rate, subscribe. Let us know if DC shows stink or not.
yeah.
And yeah, I think that about does it here. If you like what you heard here, remember to leave us a comment on Apple Podcast. If you liked what we had to say about No Way Home, or you disagreed with any of our theories for No Way Home, let us know there. Also, every other Friday, you have one Friday here previously recorded, and the following Friday, you got the Gateway Gamers podcast with me and Marvel. Check that out. And Bob has made a guest appearance on that show.
I'll be
as well.
back. I'll be back soon. We're gonna play a Halloween Town game that I made in a shoebox.
We're gonna kickstart it, make millions. Also, reach out to us. Let us know how you pronounce Shang-Chi. Is it Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi?
It's Shang-Chi. But go see that too, guys. It's out this weekend. Check out if you're curious about the character, check out our Who is Shang-Chi episode. And we did a spoiler-free review. Check that out. I included Bob's comments of that he really liked the CGI for the film. All right.
CGI action scenes.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Marvel, thanks for stopping by. And we'll see you guys later.
All right.
Love you.